to I Am Not the Elite, where we take a look at things that aren't really allowed to be looked at in normal programming. Where it says many ancient books, the elite shall fall, and when they fall, they will fall hard. The elite will put up signs, symbols, such as the one called the Georgia Guidestones, which tells you very, very, very plainly, only maintain 500,000 people. Was it 500 million? Either way, it's far less than 8.5 billion people we have on the earth today. But only maintain that many people on the face of the earth. But before you get to that many people, what the elite doesn't really allow you to know, but you have to use your own common sense, is that there's a lot of people that are going to have to be purged off the face of this planet. In order for us to be able, in order for them to be able to achieve their goals. And believe me, it's their goals. And in this short video today, I want to do a concentration on things that are happening. There's a UN meeting that is about to take place in New York within the next few weeks. And as you know, New York is pretty much shut down in terms of if you're not vaccinated, you can't really do anything. Can't go to baseball games, can't go out to dinner, can't go to the movies. And they even want the little kids not to be able to go to school. They're fighting hard to vaccinate everyone. But with the UN, and I should be able to mention this on YouTube, plus it is news, with the UN, they're allowing anyone that is part of the UN and their staff into New York City, and they have all the protocols that are set for the public of New York City and vaccinations to be suspended. They are not going to follow any protocols for the UN. No matter where they come from in the world, they can come here and they're not even going to ask the status of the people. Diplomats and their staff, etc., are exempt from any kind of vaccination entering New York State and entering into New York City. New York State also has a mandate that every college student has to be vaccinated. Every college student has to be vaccinated, and I'm receiving reports that there's a lot of quarantine going on the college campuses of New York State. That's what I'm receiving reports. Allegedly. Of course, everything's allegedly. But I'm getting reports from people who are actually being quarantined. Being quarantined not only in New York State, but also around other states, which in a sense are other countries, but other states in the United States, such as, I believe it's North Carolina also, who are quarantining vaccinated people in their rooms for 14 days. I think New York is more like 5 days. Don't hold me on that. Allegedly. Australia shut down to such a point as to where they are now rioting in the streets and attacking the police officers or security forces. As we found out that the majority of Australia is owned, including governmental offices, by private entities. What do I mean by that? It means that the World Postal Court did an investigation on who owns what in Australia, and what they found out is that one main company owns just about every governmental entity in Australia. They own the registrations for marriage certificates, birth certificates. They own the registrations for the houses. They own police departments, security forces. They own the driver's license. Anything dealing with registrations, they own. Birth certificates. And as we all know on this channel, the birth certificates are a registration that was brought up, I believe, in 1887 to be able to put on to the stock market for collateral of how much money you would make in your lifetime. So everybody's issued a number, a registration number on their social security number, registration on their birth certificate, and a registration called the social security number. We have another issue that's going on because we seem in the United States, in North America, it seems the truckers across North America and possibly even Canada are going to be shutting down on 9/30/2021. This is what we're hearing. All the truckers are going to be taking off of work. Now, I don't know how long this shutdown is going to be or if it's even going to take place, but this is what they're saying. They're also saying that make sure that you get enough food, water. Make sure you have all your security items that you need in order. Make sure you have a safe place. Also, it was said that by October 15th, that 22% of your bank account, whatever you have in your bank account, $600 and over, will be taxed. If it's $600, if you have more than $600 in the bank, it will be taxed by 22%. October 15th. Now, allegedly, they said that this is going on too. Now, I can't discount this because at one point back in the early 1900s, they made it illegal for anyone to own gold, and they confiscated all the gold in North America and brought it into the government. This is one of the ways how they got their gold reserves. I'm shocked that there's no one rioting here, no one protesting, holding rallies. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all those great people to protect people's rights. Shocked that nothing like that's happening here. Nothing like that's happening in Memphis. Nothing like that's happening in Mobile, Alabama. Nothing like that's happening in Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville. Nothing like that's happening in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Nothing like that's happening in Denver, Colorado, Los Angeles, Houston. Nothing's happening like that in Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, Fort McMurray. Nothing like that's happening out in Cranbrook, British Isles. Nothing like that's happening anywhere in North America. It seems as though where we had nothing but protest this time a year ago, we have nothing today. It's just quiet and it's silent as I wait for the morning sun to come out. Quiet and silent as I wait for the sun to come out. Are you prepared? Do you have your fallback position? Do you have your co-creation community that you have built? Or at least a co-creation community mindset in your area? Pfizer just the other day said that they are approved, that they recommend, that they've done all the studies, that it's safe for children. The hokey pokey is now safe for children. The FDA, in all their ultimate wisdom, said that they're going to have to take a little bit more look at this hokey pokey for jabs for children, because they haven't seen all the data yet. As they pretend to be your friends. That's what the elite do. They pretend to be your friends. As a snake wraps up around you. The boa constrictor. Millions of them now in the Everglades. As a crocodile stinks so slowly and has only two eyes, speaking up out of the ocean or out of the rivers or out of the lake. Quietly. As that boa constrictor wraps around you. Slowly and surely, where you don't even feel like you're being squeezed. And all you hear all the while, it's going to be okay. The boa constrictor keeps on squeezing. It's going to be alright, he says. I'm just holding you tight because I want you to be safe. And he keeps on squeezing, And then you say, I can't breathe. Don't worry about you can't breathe. Sometimes when you're being protected and you're being helped, you feel like you're being constricted. And before you know it, you're passing out. And when you take a look around before you pass out, there's boa constrictors on just about everybody you know. Except for the few that are running around trying to run away from the boa constrictors, the crocodiles, the lions, the bears. And some of them who are trying to save as many as they can get caught up themselves. Are you ready? There's a lot of news going on out there. If you're not privy to it, get to somewhere where you can see the news. Look at everything. Question everything. Make sure that you have an understanding of what's really going on. Of course, they're wrapping up those boats. Those lifeboats are being wrapped up. And soon, if we aren't all together, like they're showing down there in Melbourne, Australia, if they're showing over there in Australia, when those security forces come at you, you better stand strong and come back. Now, I'm not saying to go out there and riot. What I'm saying is have peaceful assembly. Bring your government back to you. What I'm saying to you is that begin to start writing letters, calling in your government, calling in for investigation. You have a right to call in your government. You have a right to assemble. This is part of the Constitution. You have a right. Pick up your Constitution, begin to start reading it. Pick up what it is, a constitutional republic. Start understanding your rights of where you live. Whether it's up here in Canada, down here in the United States, or across the pond, anywhere. You have a right. You control the government. The people control the government. And that's why California was so important. California was important because they recalled the governor. But because of all the other people that are there now that do not believe in a republic, a constitutional republic, they believe in a democracy. You've seen the results that are over there. We must stand strong and not allow that fate to become all of us. We must strike the vibration to kill the cancer without even touching it. Understand who you are on this face of earth. Understand that you may have to side with people that you may think that are less than what you think they are. But if they have the resources to get you where you need to go, I'm not saying shake hands with the devil. I'm saying that there's a lot of people on this planet who want to survive just like you do. Who don't want to be their guinea pigs. Who don't want to be in a trial that they say that is over but isn't over. Who don't want to be in a system. Who is systematically culling the face of the earth. Allegedly. We'll put on there allegedly. You can't stand by yourself, but as one we can stand together. So make sure that we stand. Because we are our own lifeboats. There is nothing coming to save us. There is nothing coming to save us. We can do it. We can do it. We are strong. We're intelligent. And we are made to live in these times. Feel good and proud about what you are. For you are a survivor. You've come this far now. God's not going to let you fail. Great Grand Rising to us all.
body